Whoa, greetings. All right, we're back. For now, at least in this location. So, greetings. Thank you for joining us. Brought to you by Fifth Dimension, or brought to you by who knows what. All right. This seems to be a little bit different here. Oh, I know why. There. It's a little bit more, whatever it is. Okay. All right, you can do 2020 predictions through fourth dimensional energies. So what does that mean exactly? I have no idea. It's not basically as we go more non-physical, slowly. We'll just see how this goes. Basically, because everybody does a prediction thing at the end of the year. The ones I've been connecting to is just not focus too much on the physical reality and just kind of follow the vibrations. And I'll go into some of that. Yeah, now I'm remembering what I was tapping into earlier today. You're at work and you got stuff going on, and I get a message, but then I have to go back to the work world, and I forget what the hell I was connecting to, but I remember right now. So, just do a little, what do you call it, housekeeping or update. I was supposed to have questions answered, but I'm worn out. I took it easy yesterday, but I didn't do a whole lot yesterday. But I'm still kind of beat from doing nothing. Probably a lot of astral work. All right, for private sessions, it's the scheduler. We're at a channel. We have questions and uses Google Hangouts and all that. I'm also going to add a phone number, like a contact number, but for texting only, not for calling. I guess because I don't think it has a message connection to it, but you can text me if I have any availability or something. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I'm still in the works. You can always email me too, which might be easier. So about 10 days for delivery still, maybe a little bit longer. Same situation here. Other channels and healers I do recommend. Social network. Awesome. Also have an Indiegogo going on right now for a graphic novel. It's indie, so it's not too, it's not high tech or anything. It's an experiment, so I'm just trying something new here. And the poster, I might add a bonus poster. It comes with a poster. That's the poster. I might add one more to that. I'm still debating on what to do. So it might be 2 posters instead of just 1. So either way. Alright, thanks for your support in the land of the insane. I'm not sure what I'm doing. Oh, okay. Alright. Yeah, I'm doing astral work. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing something. As everyone is. Okay, alright, we have the new year coming in. Okay, so I'm not sure if they're gonna let me tap into this again. It's just for a moment. It wasn't very long, but if I remember right, so we're going to the politics again, just for a little bit. Now this isn't necessarily a prediction, but just kind of showing you how the vibrations work and human consciousness. So I'm not sure if this is a prediction thing at all. So we'll just have to play it by ear. I don't fucking know. So what I picked up from like Trump being impeached and all that. Look at it at a point of view of okay, now I'm really remembering everything now. Yeah, look at it from. I'm just using this is what I picked up, but also an example of other ways of looking at things. The impeachment is like human consciousness that doesn't want to change. Also hold on to the old guard. I think I've already done messages on that. I don't remember, but and Trump is like a golden, not a king, but a golden energy of change. Like in his buildings that he built, or he didn't build them, but he was part of. Either way, he was part of building something, right? He did change in New York City. He brought a lot of new ideas to New York City as for building, right? And that was change. but at least it was comfortable change. It's it's a building, um, but now he's going to go into a whole new route of changing society. And society, as many know, don't like that too much. Bring back Obama and him swimming in a pool and everybody's excited. No change at all. So he's bringing in change, and he's really here to bring a lot of it, actually. And human consciousness is like, slow down. They're not ready for it, so they do the impeachment to kind of just hit the brakes on it. So where what next year comes in is a slow burn of, I don't want to call it huge change, nothing major. Well, at least in the political world. So at least it gives you kind of now when I say golden being, doesn't mean it's positive or negative or whatever, because he does a lot of humping other people and all that, because he can't stop himself. But that's just to recharge himself. Yeah, that's to continue on what is to do what he's here to do. Doesn't mean it has to be moral. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to go into there. It doesn't matter. Yeah, if you look at it as like energy beings, which we all are, we're in a physical body, but we're energy beings in a physical body. So the energy beings want to learn as much as they can from the third dimension, not be thrown out of it too soon. Many want to learn the lower astrals of it, and even if they get absorbed into it through alcohol, drugs, and be even destroyed. No, not all souls are like that, but many souls want to experience everything they can from this reality, and if that's self-destruction, that's self-destruction. Now, there's family members that are there to pull people out of that, but it's up in the air of that. So the future is more alien vibrations are, I get the word tippy toe, into society through the back door of our reality. Of course, through technology, SpaceX is a major one. Boeing, not so much, because Boeing recently had, it's mostly SpaceX than Boeing, for various reasons. Because Boeing had that, the explosion of the planes. They're just like, they're kind of being slowed down, which is horrible. With the planes, when those people died, it was just horrible. And the CEO of that's going to get so much karma for that. And the people, obviously, that are in charge of it. The CEO is going to still take responsibility for it. Boy, I can see an astral. Because it's just horrible. I don't know how he's going to take karma for that. It's going to take a long time to heal that. Yeah, because it still comes back to him in the long run. They're just cost-cutting, basically. But also the government's going to get some heat from it, too. So, diverted. Okay, so SpaceX is kind of like, I know there's like Blue Origin, but and Virgin is doing some space stuff, but I believe SpaceX is still the pioneer of all of this. And I think it is when you look back, it really is. They're the first ones that really started to go privatize of going into space. Now everybody's jumping on that board. Of course, I'm not sure about Blue Origin, but I think I'm not sure of the origin of all that, but either way. SpaceX is number one on that. So, and now Apple is trying to do the whole thing about them being in space with their laser everybody with the internet. Apple can't get themselves straight, but so a lot of emotional energies are going to be starting to release this coming year, of negativity that people have been bearing within themselves. So there might be possibly more violence in certain areas, only because people are letting go, they're opening themselves up. They've been burying themselves with alcoholism, whatever it is, and eventually the volcano is going to explode. This is a year of release. And that's where spirituality comes in to be able to, handle it. It is a spiritual, so we'll just have to wait and see. Obviously, I'm not going to be very clear about it. There was also timelines. There's like an X timeline. There's like an X timeline of. It's not in the shape of an X, but it has like the energy of of the unknown. Meaning, like, this is what they're telling me. That's interesting, though. The X timeline's like, yeah, it can interfere with other timelines and bring in an event, a change. It'll go worldwide. It's kind of like a hidden reality. So meaning like there's another version of Earth. I mean, there's always different versions of Earth we're connecting to. It's like you go right, you go left. Like you go left in this lifetime, you go left in another lifetime, something like that. I know it's weird. It's too hard to keep up on everything. Like you're a rich rock star in another world, and you're far from it in this world. There's all different versions of everything. It's not really worth tapping into unless you want to go insane. But the X timeline is like, you say all those worlds into like, it'll bring what we need here. It'll not, obviously aliens don't see everything, but even the spirit world isn't always 100% where things are going to go. But they get a better idea than everybody else. Because they see where the conscious energies is pulling in. They get they just have a better idea of it. And if it does happen, they're ready for it. Aliens are not always ready for it. But the spirit world is technically. Well, the spirit world is kind of questionable in how they operate. We're all kind of wondering, if we saw how they operated everything, it'd be look like a Walmart or Kmart, probably worse than anything. At least from my perception. Sometimes you wonder what the hell they do. I don't think they know sometimes. Either way, I think it's being organized, I guess. It wasn't supposed to be. I mean, as, in third dimension, everything's chaotic, right? We're all just kind of fucked up in some ways. Spirit was the same way, in their version of it. And now we're putting ourselves back together again with a more high energy, supposedly. Like I said in that quote thing, but it's one of those days. So the spirit world gets their act together too. We get better energies in the spirit world instead of like a bunch of slackers. So of course, it's on how you look at things. Not everybody has a slacker energy around them, but some of us are privileged enough to have that. It also, of course, speeds our learning about the spirit world, how it operates, and how it feels like many of them are clueless also, which is good to hear, isn't it? So we're going into I would call it the X timeline of, it's like it's a hidden timeline of various different ideas of things that can come in here. That mean that it can bring about a new timeline of like say a world event of some sort. Like Boeing having that little issue with their planes when they're crashing. Had to do like a lesson that we needed to learn too. Whatever that might have been. What benefits us. So human consciousness made that choice though. A collective consciousness does make choices on what happens. That's why you wonder why certain people are successful and certain people aren't. Human consciousness still makes the decision. That's really complicated. I don't understand it, but obviously there are some that feel like they do understand it. Good for them. But even if you think you understand it, you probably still don't understand it. I don't think anything is here to be fully understood. That's the beauty of existence. But as we evolve, we're going to start to see the timelines more clearly. Not yet. We're not there yet, but because we're not supposed to know the mysteries yet, because we have to learn what we're here to learn. But we are coming into a time, basically, it's like you might not understand it, but you're going to know something's there. Like I said, an X timeline, what I see is like a big timeline, like a big one with multiple timelines within it, is what I see. And nobody knows what the hell it is. Well, Spirit knows what it is, but they don't know what the hell they're doing half the time anyway, from my perspective. But, because we kind of dictate what happens here. Even when we don't think we do. Astrally, we don't make the best decisions in astral, but we do. That's why we have the hard lessons here. We're warning. I mean, we're warning what the rest of the universe doesn't want to learn or doesn't know how to learn or whatever it is. But we're about to come to an end of that eventually. Let's see. So where things are going, Mother Mary's energies are going to get stronger here. Basically, the feminine is going to get stronger and less full of itself. Like they have the SJW stuff going on, which is more of a masculine type of just get rid of the man stuff. Boy, is that the truth of it. They would rather have just a manless world, depending on who they are. God, good luck on that one. Jeez, they can have it if they want it. But that's not gonna happen. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's soul growth. It's a major soul growth we need to go through, and it has a lot to do with the Martian energies. I think I did a channeling on that a little bit. Yeah, some Martians, which makes sense. Like the male Martians wanted to get rid of the feminine, so more females are more man-like, strong, and like with Xena and like Hercules and Xena or whatever her name was, like on a sword and all that. But also some of the women wanted, which makes sense. They wanted to get rid of the male altogether. It's like, okay, we're powerful, we have masculine and feminine. What the hell do we need you for? So that's Mars, part of it. Jeez. So, jeez. Lucky us, huh? Let's see here. I see Ross Perot's energy. If you know anything about politics, Ross Perot, he's an old billionaire that ran for government. So his energies are still here. It's not fully left. It's an Arcturian energy. Basically, Ross Perot, he was like an independent, if I believe, ran for president. So he did have a lot of. I think it's Ross Perot. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm not gonna look it up. I'm pretty sure I know what I'm talking about. I think he had a lot of positive insight here. Of course, he didn't win, but it's basically for us to become more of a democratic society, a little bit more like a Greek type of society, more open, less negativity. Eventually, I'm doing the quotes again. God, I really had a slow day today. I'm really tired. What am I going at with this? Yeah, so basically more of an open government instead of closed and manipulated. Eventually, we're going to more of like I wouldn't say it's like the Greeks exactly, but more open, more just less BS, and just more casual energies. Right now, it's all dress up in all the costumes, and you put off a bunch of bullshit, drink a bunch of booze like Nancy Pelosi, and open government meaning open societies. There's more conversation. So, not to say we're going to hit that next year, but that's where we're heading eventually. It's just more, and yes, there will be a female president eventually. Not yet. We got too much bullshit. We got to clear out first. It's just too much of the dumpster we got to get rid of. And Nancy Pelosi is turning into a man slowly. I saw something with Nancy Pelosi, but I forgot what it was. I mean, she's not really here anyway most of the time. Her energy is mostly in astral, but her more demonic and controlling side is here. She's basically trying to show men up. Anyway, enough about the politics. Well, it plays a big role in our society. That's why I bring it up. It does. I mean, people don't talk about it and want to be, but it does play a big role in it. Where the garbage goes, where the food is, it's all kind of interconnected that in the long run. But as humanity goes into more of a collective consciousness, become more aware of it, kind of like with Star Wars, where you just sense stuff, and people sense things right now, but they're just not opening up to it because it's not used to it. They haven't grown up with it. The school system, of course, will eventually break down. Not yet. Next year, possibly. That's not going to break down anytime soon. It will. Everything's going to shatter eventually. Especially the school system, because it's not really a school system. It's more like an indoctrination system. Roman manipulation. Mostly Roman ideal systems. It has others, but the backbone is more Roman. How to control the people. How to water them down. How to turn them into a slave race. That's all Roman stuff. It does go out through ages, of course, and they just, I guess during obviously the Dark Ages, took information, just dumped it. Just make everybody be stupid and you can't read. Who cares? Turned into a barbarian society for a long time, of course. So, but it all comes down to the Roman energy. So, of course, it has nothing to do with predictions, but maybe it does. So why now Rome and Egypt are pretty much intertwined. I mean, it's Egypt with a Roman covering around it. So and that goes back to Atlantean times. So we're just in a time of self-discovery this year coming up. It's not going to be anything too dramatic. I think spiritualism, it just has it's going through a major maturing level this year. Hopefully they don't. I mean, I don't know if they're going to do this whole event thing again. You know, it's an event of this and that, yada yada yada. I mean, a lot of spiritual people are going to have their own events, you know, for gatherings. That's, you know, whatever. That's different. But that whole propaganda thing, I think it's just a test too. So, let's see here. We're bringing a lot of ancient knowledge from the Atlantean scrolls, temples. Yes, they did have paper back then. Just little by little, of course. A lot of it's going to go through the children. So your crystal children, indigo children, whatever you want to call them. I'll just call them crystal children. More of that's going to start getting enhanced throughout this year. And more of those that are having children throughout the year are going to be bringing more of that energy into the earth. So I wouldn't say anything too dramatic is going to happen this year. Yeah, some people might flip out and release their darkness. I'm not saying it's on a global scale, but there's going to be a lot of... North Korea is not going to end their stuff yet. North Korea, they could, but I think he's so paranoid of getting whacked, he doesn't want to get killed. People want to whack him, basically. And that's why he's acting the way he's acting. Yeah, you can make it more, economic, like a Las Vegas type of place, which something like he wants to do, make it like South Korea but better. But he's a little worried that he'll get replaced. So he's going to keep doing what he's doing until he's dead, basically. So I would expect the same thing happening over and over. It's not going to go away. He's going to keep on sending out missiles and stuff. They'll have more peace talks and all that, but I don't think he's going to change next year. He's kind of pissed off about not. I feel like there's deals that were not fully. They made a deal, then somebody said no, or probably the United States said no, whatever it was. Either way, let's see. They're going to have a lot of talks, but I don't think anything major. It's a possibility but not likely. I mean, there's going to be major talks of him North Korea calming down a lot of their stuff, but not entirely yet. Yeah, he's super paranoid. He is really careful. If he lives another day, he's lucky. I feel like there's somebody that really does not want him around for obvious reasons. And he has a lot of blackmail stuff on people too. I think so. So he's using that as leverage somewhere. Now, where is that going is another story. Let's see. Europe, Poland's going to get more positive. Europe's going to become more of a positive entity. Release from the EU. Hong Kong is still going to stay as a cesspool it is right now, unfortunately. I think this one, how you look at it, I think mainland China is trying to take over Hong Kong. And they're using their rights to do it. I might be wrong. Now, whether it be successful or not, I don't think so. I think mainland China want Hong Kong so bad. They want to wipe out the West altogether. They can't do it. So there's kind of like a hierarchy war going on there. Meaning that there is... Yeah, it's not good. But the West is paying for it big time, just because the economy is not doing so good in Hong Kong anymore. It's hard to say if they're going to win this or not. They're going to, it feels like millionaires are becoming poor over there right now. It's that bad. what sense of energy I'm getting from that. Hollywood's going to go through a transition, not spiritual just yet. Has a lot of dark. Now, Hollywood is a siphon. Human consciousness throws all its darkness through Hollywood, through art. So it's not ready to. Now you can blame the Illuminati all you want. It's still human consciousness allowing it to happen like that. Like repeat old stuff over and over again. I would say this year is technically the beginning of the end of that, but not fully yet. It's like the crossroads of changing, possibly more spiritual energies to come through, little by little. Again, it's not strong completely. Human consciousness on a global scale is in a fear-based energy. It is terrified of itself. It's terrified of growing, learning, drastically changing. It takes the slow. Not everybody's like that, but quite a bit of it is. Like those are the most darkness, are the ones hiding the most. Just the way it is. If you're not, if you're showing your darkness, or you're showing your true self, I don't think I think that's a sign of strength, actually. If you're hiding, that's not a sign of strength at all. You're putting on all these masks. Obviously, you want to have a good attitude around people in front. That's one thing. But if you're like super fake, which many are, that's why everything is so fake. Because society is fake. That's why Hollywood's fake. That's why government's fake. Society's fake on itself. When society becomes more real, it says what allows it to say what's on its mind, the fakeness goes away. But kids are taught to be fake. Society's fake. Just the way it is. Hollywood's fake. You end the fakeness, the realness comes through. That's when your big change comes in. I mean, not to be real in a negative way, just real. I mean, there's some real, but not really, not to the full extent as it can be. Just isn't. They rather put on this business-like persona, even in personal situations, and not let their guard down. Just be yourself. I mean, yeah, there's plenty of people that do that, but not enough. It's mostly phonies. Depending on how you look at it, it mostly is. There is some real, of course, you have to do it for business, school, whatever. Kiss your parents' ass, whatever it is. And just the way it is. It's a society of phony. I mean, why do you think families get away with all their darkness? Because they put on this mask, and it sucks. So more real it is. So I think we're in the time. We're not there yet, but we're gonna have it eventually. More realism is gonna slow. It's having a hard time. I think with me doing this channeling stuff and all that, channelers hate my guts. At least I put realism out there, and then they say how much they don't say me by name, but they do kind of say it. it's like there's some channelers out there that just don't like. They're making us all look bad. They're probably talking about me. Probably. Good. So, just the way it is. It's not my kind of a channeling, yada yada yada. Because they want to do the same old channeling, saying the whole old world, not grow, not go fourth dimension. They talk about fourth dimension, but they're nowhere near it. To get closer to it is to become more real, and 3D world starts to break free. I mean, you can be materialism, do whatever you want. You can be materialism if you need to be, whatever you need to be. But then the third dimension disengages. It's slowly disengaging. I can feel it. I feel connecting human consciousness. Not like I say, not everybody is fear-based energy. Like majorly fear. Like so scared that people know who they really are is just. It's like they're rather just turn to a creature or something that anybody see what they really are. And that's most of society. Now Europe's a different story. Europe people are more real. United States, that's a whole different story. It's phony central. Europe people are more open because they've been through all that shit already. Asia's more open. I think I'm mostly talking about the United States, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, there are probably other places. Europe's more open. Everybody's more open than the United States because we've been, because we're the war country. We're the war country that manipulate everybody. So, as we're manipulating the world, we're the ones that get manipulated the most, of course. So, I think our country is more like Sparta. it's Roman, but it's also like Sparta. It's because they're taught to be warlike society, and we have a war. I mean, even when we're not at war, we're at war with each other. So, yeah. It's a different version of it, but it's still the same thing. And they're poisoning us with their water and all that, and yada yada yada. And that's also to keep the third dimension here. That's going to break free. Not yet. It's on its way. Not well. It's going to get easier and easier every year. More veganism or no food eating, for that matter. Brethren's going to power up, of course, but there's a lot of hard lessons to be learned this year. God, I hope I'm not one of. I've already had enough this year. I had plenty of that this year. I need a break next year. So I've done what I just fucking bullshit. I hope I'm not on that list. Probably am though. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of hard lessons in the next year for not everybody, but yeah. So the more real you are, the better. Of course, that's not easy. The more real you are, it's probably the worst thing that ever happened to you too, because all the phonies gonna come out and kick your ass. But it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. It's hard to be real here, isn't it? Isn't it hard to be real? You can't do that. I can't do that in the regular world. I'm just not bothered with it. Because that's the belief systems and all that. I can't connect with it. So let's see here. And I think it's more conspiracy theories are going to get a little bit more wild this year. Antarctica is going to continue to melt, of course, not drastically, but I don't think there's going to be a pole shift this year. There might be, I think a pole shift, the idea to talk about is going to get stronger. That's about it. I don't know if it's going to happen yet. Society really needs to have a massive shift. It needs to drastically change. We're on that direction, but not necessarily everybody has to become spiritual and all that, but just let go of all their bullshit. Just let go of all that. Just take it easy. Just be comfortable with yourself. I don't think that's not most people. That just isn't. Because they have that persona of what they think is accepted. So they might be having a mask and they don't even know they have one on, which is probably true. Most probably have that. At least in America. I don't know. I can't say about the rest of the world. You have to have this persona of a person. I got my sports. I got this. I got that. That's part of being a person. And when you start clearing all that out, you have the house, the kids, yada yada yada. What if you don't have any of that stuff? It's just that whole the programming of society has to shift out. And yeah, it's basically become more easygoing. Yeah, you never know. This year coming up, that's the hard truth. The hard truth is just realism. If realism comes in, people aren't gonna because you're hiding behind alcohol or whatever the hell it is and trying to destroy yourself. And you say that you're not, trying to make, hey, I'm perfect, look at me, and you're all fucked up. It's like, yeah, I tell everybody you love and light, and you come to find you're a drug addict. It's like, wait, wow, you're really positive. Wait a minute, you're a drug addict and an alcoholic, and you're telling everybody, yeah. No wonder you're doing that. You're on crack all the time. No wonder. So, yeah, because more realism, more humanity finds the realism in themselves. Because just let all the bullshit out. That's when you know about Area 51. That's when you know about all this stuff. All it's just the real world comes through. That's when aliens start appearing. You just get, you don't have to become spiritual. You just let all that bullshit clear out. All the programming from the 1950s, and I mean, obviously there's a lot of people who are like that already, but most society is not like that. At least, like I say, in the United States. Even of course Europe has that energy too, to a certain degree. Every place does. Not like here though. And we have to be like that for business purposes in the United States. We have to, for work, we accept you got to put on all these masks on. And you don't even realize you have them. So it makes perfect sense. You get through school, get through all. You have to be this person, And some people put on masks because they're too super fake. That's a different story. I mean, you have to put on this professionalism, which is understood. But, a lot of people are losing their minds having it on, too. And there's others that just put on the mask because they're just manipulating assholes. So, that's a whole different story. But, yeah, because then we're going to become more of like a hippie society eventually, where you can just say whatever on your mind. Obviously, with good intentions helps. It just helps the flow of humanity. It just helps the flow. And then you can see aliens are no big deal. You can see everything without a problem. Because if we're cool with each other, we're cool with the universe. And so humanity has to chill out, basically. 2020, chill. Just calm, just let go of all this stuff. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, where I live, I don't really connect to many people, and I just don't bother with it. Just at work, I can be more open depending on the situation. But just you have to have that, once again, that persona. What's your favorite sports team? Where you're dating? Yada yada. Same old crap. It's like whatever, I can connect to that. So, all right. Let's see. So obviously there's more. They're just gonna let that sit for a little bit. Just basically, humanity needs to get to know itself better instead of running away. And it does. It runs away and doesn't realize it's doing it. And it's not something you fix overnight. It's something you take 10, 20 years to even get out of that. It's just basically society just becoming just a little bit more familiar to each other too. Friendliness works, just calm friendliness, and just it's like you're cracking open a dimension of just realism, of just not giving a crap. That's the other thing. I guess that's the biggest one. Just not giving a shit. That's probably that's probably the main thing of that. Just don't give a shit. So because that's when basically because stress levels will cool down and just so we'll see. Predicting the future is very difficult because obviously there's like the psychic twins. They're always talking about dark shit all the time. That's fun. Oh, that plane's gonna crash. It's gonna happen. Wow, who the hell wants to connect to that crap? And then they tell everybody, wow, look, all the stuff we predicted. It's like, fuck, that's depressing. It's like, jeez. One of you guys are alone all the time. Nobody wants to date you. Wow, Jimmy gloom and doom central with those two. Not to say they're wrong all the time, but it's just, ugh. Human consciousness still makes the decisions fully, of course. And just it's like it feels like it needs to go into a darker tone. It's so used to it. Coming in more a lighter tone, it goes back and forth. I guess that's why some people take crystal meth and stuff like that. Hey, look, I'm positive. Yeah, you're also on drugs. I guess it's like cocaine addicts is another way of getting more positive, sort of. It's one way of doing it, I guess, until you get addicted. It's just society mellowing out. So I believe this is the year of it just chilling out slowly. It's kind of uptight for obvious reasons. It has to be for the economy to work. Now Europe, in parts of Europe, it's more relaxed. At least work-wise. The United States is one that's on crack all the time for right now. Because there's a lot of people out of work and stuff. So, but we are going to just start calming down the vibration of low vibration. And that's where a lot of these old buildings are going to probably go away eventually. All the Archon Mason buildings. Because it doesn't work anymore. Even, I think they said the Notre Dame is unfixable. But if Notre Dame goes down, which would be great, that shows the third dimension is breaking down. So, you never know. Having that thing burn is, I'm not going to go into details of that. A good thing, unfortunately. Yeah, you show that third dimension is breaking. That's a major accomplishment there. Just start on fire like practically by itself, right, through astral, and now we're going to go to a new shift of just siphoning out. So I'm not saying that's going to have more burnings and all that. I don't know. Who knows? But third dimension is not going to have a major disconnect, but it is going to start like disconnecting from our reality slowly. So more 4D energies come. 4D is going to just I mean, some people are there, but a lot of society is not because of materialism. But of course, I think Black Friday wasn't that impressive, so that's a good sign. It doesn't mean you have to go buying candles and crystals and all that, but you just get more in touch with yourself, which is easier said than done. Yeah. Good luck on that one. Especially most don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Even doing it's another story. Even if you know what that means, or sort of, doing it's a whole other story. It's just be able to say whatever's on your mind. That helps too. It's like you're having a bad day, whatever it is, just releasing. So I don't know. I guess that's part of it. That's all I got. My predictions aren't that exciting. Not really. I don't think Trump's going to get if he gets impeached. It doesn't matter. I still think he's going to win no matter what. The Democrats are they're just not with it. And yeah, Trump will win, but we're also paving the way for a female president. Not yet. After his next 4 years, but we're getting there. It is a road. No, we're not going to have somebody like Clinton. It's going to be with somebody that's a little bit more, I don't know, just not what we're used to, but we're getting there. It's just the empire's, I wouldn't call it falling, but the idea systems are falling. So possibly after Trump leaves, I'm not saying we're going to have a female president yet, but like I said, it's going to get a lot stronger. But not yet. Alright, that's it. Alright, much love. Hopefully some of that was helpful. I don't know if anything was helpful at all, but that's all I got. Alright, take care. Alright, be back tomorrow.